Imagine a device so advanced that even today, scientists struggle to fully understand it. A machine built more than 2,000 years ago, containing gears more complex than anything seen until the modern age. A machine that predicts solar eclipses, tracks planetary motion, and calculates astronomical cycles all without a single drop of electricity. This isn't science fiction. This is history. And its name is the Antikythera Mechanism. For centuries, historians believed ancient civilizations lacked advanced mechanical technology. They thought complex machines were a modern invention, something born during the Industrial Revolution. But one discovery, hidden at the bottom of the ocean, shattered that belief forever. It all started by accident. In the year 1900, a group of Greek sponge divers were sailing through the rough waters between Crete and mainland Greece, near a small island called Antikythera. A violent storm forced them to take shelter and wait. Once the storm passed, one diver, Elias Stadiatis, descended into the deep blue sea, hoping to find sponges. But what he found wasn't sponges. Scattered across the ocean floor were bronze statues, ceramic jars, coins, and the massive, fragmented skeleton of a shipwreck. The wreck dated back to around 100 BCE, during the height of ancient Greek influence. The divers immediately alerted the authorities, and soon, archaeologists arrived. They began recovering priceless artifacts, magnificent statues of gods, gleaming bronze weapons, and intricate jewelry. It was the archaeological find of a lifetime. Among all the debris, there was one object that no one cared much about. A corroded, lumpy mass of bronze, broken into several pieces, covered in centuries of rust and marine growth. It looked like a rock, a piece of junk. At first, it looked like nothing at all. But this nothing would soon become one of the most important and mysterious discoveries in all of human history. 2 years later, in 1902, a Greek archaeologist named Valerios Stais was examining the fragments back at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens. As he looked closer at the corroded metal, he noticed something that seemed absolutely unbelievable. Inside the green, rusted crust, he saw gears. Perfectly cut, intricate bronze gears. Not one, not two, but dozens of them, packed together in a tight, complex arrangement. This was shocking. Until that moment, the most advanced gear systems known from the ancient world were simple water wheels. The kind of complex, interlocking gears Stais was looking at weren't supposed to exist until medieval clocks were built. Over 1,000 years later, according to everything historians knew, the ancient Greeks simply did not possess this level of mechanical engineering. Yet, here it was, a mechanical device from 2,000 years ago, using precision gears, axles, and rotating dials. Scientists were completely confused. Some immediately dismissed it as a hoax, a modern device planted at the shipwreck site. Others believed it might be a simple astrolabe or some kind of navigation tool. But the deeper they looked, the stranger and more complex it became. Over the next several decades, researchers from around the world carefully studied the fragments. With early X-rays, they discovered hidden inscriptions engraved into the bronze surfaces. These inscriptions were written in ancient Greek, and they weren't just random letters. They were instructions, a user manual for a machine nobody understood. As technology advanced, so did the investigation. Scientists began using powerful CT scans, 3D imaging, and digital reconstruction to analyze the mechanism without having to take it apart and risk destroying it. Layer by layer, they peeled back the centuries of corrosion and digitally rebuilt the machine. And what they found shocked the entire world. The Antikythera Mechanism was not a simple tool. It was a mechanical computer, an analog computer from the ancient world. So, what did this amazing device actually do? The answer is mind-boggling. This ancient machine could predict solar and lunar eclipses with remarkable accuracy. It could track the complex cycles of the moon, even accounting for its irregular orbit. It modeled the motion of the 5 planets that were known at the time: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It even calculated the dates of the Olympic Games and other major festivals. It displayed zodiac signs, a calendar system, and could predict rare astronomical events years, even decades, in advance. It did all of this using a system of at least 30 interlocking bronze gears. Some of these gears had odd numbers of teeth, carefully and deliberately designed to represent complex astronomical cycles. One gear alone had exactly 223 teeth. This isn't a random number. It corresponds to the Saros cycle, an 18-year cycle that can be used to predict eclipses with astonishing precision. This level of mechanical and astronomical knowledge would not reappear in history until the grand astronomical clocks of Renaissance Europe over 1,500 years later. Which leads us to the biggest question of all. Who built it? Who was the genius behind this incredible machine? Frustratingly, no signature was found. No name was inscribed on its surface, but many historians believe the knowledge behind the mechanism can be traced back to Archimedes, one of the greatest minds in all of human history. Archimedes lived in the 3rd century BCE and was known for creating incredible mechanical devices far ahead of his time. Ancient texts even describe him building mechanical spheres that modeled the motions of the sun, moon, and planets. Could this be one of his creations, or one inspired by him? Others suggest it was built by scientists from the island of Rhodes, which was a major center for astronomy and engineering in ancient Greece. Perhaps it was the work of a forgotten genius, a brilliant inventor whose name has been erased by time. But here's the truly unsettling idea. What if this device wasn't a one-of-a-kind masterpiece? What if it was common? The Antikythera Mechanism appears so advanced and so refined that it raises an uncomfortable possibility. What if ancient civilizations were far more technologically advanced than we give them credit for? The mechanism shows no signs of trial and error in its design. It appears fully developed, as if it came from a long tradition of prior inventions. Yet, no other machines like it have ever been found. Not a single one. So what happened to this lost technology? Why did it vanish? History tells us that ancient knowledge was incredibly fragile. Libraries burned. Empires collapsed. Wars and invasions erased generations of learning. The Great Library of Alexandria, once the largest and most significant collection of knowledge on Earth, was destroyed. We can only guess how many thousands of scientific texts and blueprints vanished forever in its flames. If machines like the Antikythera Mechanism existed, their plans and the knowledge to build them may have been lost in disasters just like that. By the time Europe entered the Dark Ages, much of ancient Greek and Roman science had already been forgotten. The world had to start over, slowly rediscovering mathematics, astronomy, and mechanics from scratch. Even today, with all our modern technology, researchers admit something unsettling. We still don't fully understand how the Antikythera Mechanism works. Some of the gear arrangements don't align with known astronomical theories of the time. Some of the inscriptions are incomplete, their meanings lost, and crucial parts of the machine are still missing, lost forever at the bottom of the sea. Every new study seems to reveal another layer of mind-bending complexity. In 2021, a team of scientists proposed a new model for the front of the device, suggesting it modeled planetary motion using complex mathematical theories that were once thought to be completely impossible for the ancient world. This means the Greeks didn't just observe the sky. They understood its underlying mechanics and mathematics on a profound level. So why does this one rusty object change our view of history? Before the Antikythera Mechanism was found, historians generally believed three things: that complex geared machines began in the Middle Ages, that precision engineering was impossible in antiquity, and that ancient science was mostly theoretical, not practical. This single device destroys all three of those assumptions. It proves that ancient humans were not primitive thinkers. They were brilliant engineers, sophisticated mathematicians, and master scientists capable of extraordinary innovation. It shows us that history wasn't a slow, steady climb upward. It rose to great heights, then collapsed, and had to rise all over again. And this brings us to the biggest mystery of all. The final question that keeps historians and scientists awake at night. If the Antikythera Mechanism existed, what else existed that we never found? How many other incredible inventions were lost to time? How many breakthroughs vanished beneath the sea, were buried under the ruins of fallen cities, or were burned in forgotten libraries? And the most haunting question of all, are we, today, simply rediscovering ancient knowledge? Or are we merely remembering it? The Antikythera Mechanism is more than just a machine. It is a warning. It's a profound reminder that human knowledge is fragile, that progress is never guaranteed, and that civilizations can reach incredible heights and still fall into darkness. taking their greatest achievements with them. Somewhere, in the ancient world, a forgotten genius turned a small bronze crank and watched the heavens move in miniature right before their eyes. And then, for reasons we may never know, the knowledge disappeared. Until one day, 2,000 years later, the sea decided to give it back. Thanks for watching.